Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with sleep apnea, you already know the right equipment is absolutely vital. But the pricing? Yeah, that's usually a complete mystery. So today, we're cutting through the medical jargon and completely decoding the overwhelming world of CPAP machine pricing, helping you make a financially sound purchase without those nasty surprise bills. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the true cost of a CPAP, then look at what actually drives that price, beware of the hidden costs, navigate the tricky world of insurance and Medicare, and wrap up with some smart buying and financing tips.
All right, Section 1, the true cost of CPAP. Let's look at those baseline cash prices.
It's literally the most urgent question after a sleep apnea diagnosis, right? How much is this actually going to cost me? You know you need this machine to breathe properly, yet getting a straight, simple answer from suppliers can feel like pulling teeth. The numbers just seem to jump all over the place.
Well, here's the crucial baseline. A new standard CPAP, or an auto-adjusting APAP machine here in the US, currently falls somewhere in the $500 to $1,600 range out of pocket. That's your 2026 baseline cash price. But keep in mind, your actual out-of-pocket hit is going to depend heavily on the exact machine type, your supplier, your insurance, and exactly what supplies are bundled into that initial purchase.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2. What drives the price? Let's break down those therapy types and bundles. Think of a fixed pressure CPAP as your standard, reliable baseline vehicle. It does exactly what it needs to do. It delivers therapy at one single continuous pressure setting prescribed by your doctor. It typically runs anywhere from $300 to $900. If this matches your medical needs, it's absolutely going to be your most cost-effective option. Now, this right here brilliantly illustrates the automatic transmission upgrade. An APAP, or auto CPAP machine, actually adjusts itself while you sleep. So as your breathing changes throughout the night, the machine's algorithm raises or lowers the pressure within a prescribed range. It's a huge boost in comfort, but because of that added smart technology, you're looking at a typical price bump to between $500 and $1,600. For more complex therapy needs, a doctor might prescribe a BiPAP, or bilevel machine. This device offers specialized dual pressures, meaning a distinct pressure when you inhale and a totally different one when you exhale. Because we're getting into advanced medical tech and specific pressure support here, it sits at the absolute premium end of the price spectrum, easily ranging from $900 to, well, over $3,000. Now pay attention because this is the classic gotcha moment that catches so many first-time buyers off guard. You might spot a surprisingly low price online, but you've got to look closely at what you're actually getting. A bare-bones machine-only listing often literally just gives you the motor. You need to compare that against a bundle. That's the box that actually includes the whole shebang, the crucial mask, the tubing, the filters, and the humidifier you actually need for night one. So always check what's actually in the box before comparing prices. Let's roll right into Section 3, beware of hidden costs. We really have to look beyond just the machine itself. This table lays out your true initial cash pay budget. Sure, you have the base machine, but then you've got to stack on the mask system, the tubing, the filters, and the humidifier. Suddenly, those absolutely essential add-ons push your total initial budget way past the sticker price of the machine, potentially hitting well over $1,900. Furthermore, it's super important to understand that CPAP therapy is basically a subscription for your health. You don't just buy it once and call it a day. You need to budget at least $200 to $400 annually just for recurring maintenance supplies to keep your therapy effective and hygienic. So what exactly are those recurring costs? Well, they're your consumable parts. You are going to be replacing disposable filters, silicone mask cushions, plastic water chambers, and elastic headgear on a regular basis. Disposable filters, for example, they shouldn't just be washed. They literally need to be tossed out. Your financial planning definitely does not end the day you bring the machine home. Moving on to Section 4, navigating insurance and Medicare, let's untangle private plans and the bureaucracy. The golden rule here? Never assume your insurance covers everything right out of the gate. Sure, your out-of-pocket amount could be way lower than the cash price, but a really high deductible could also leave you paying full retail. You need to proactively interrogate your insurance provider with these exact questions. Ask them if it's covered under durable medical equipment. Ask if they rent or purchase the machine outright. And this is huge. Ask if compliance monitoring is required. That means if you don't use the machine enough hours a night, they might actually stop paying for it. Get your estimated responsibility up front to dodge those surprise bills. Now, if you're an eligible Medicare Part B beneficiary, getting a CPAP isn't just a simple retail transaction. It's a strict 13-month pipeline. First, you've got to meet some pretty strict coverage requirements and sleep study criteria. Then, after your deductible, you typically pay 20% of the Medicare-approved amount. But here's the real kicker. The device is essentially rented to you for 13 continuous months. Only after you prove you're using it during that compliance period does ownership actually transfer over to you.
All right, Section 5, Smart Buying and Financing. Let's cover HSA, FSA, and your final buying checklist. A really fantastic financial loophole you should definitely be aware of is utilizing your tax-advantaged accounts. You can often use your HSA or FSA money to cover not just the main machine, but those recurring accessories like masks, filters, and tubing. Always confirm your specific eligibility with your plan administrator and, keep your receipts. But using pre-tax dollars is an excellent way to soften the financial blow of this vital equipment. Before you finally hit that buy button or sign the paperwork at a local supplier, quickly run through this essential checklist. First, confirm your therapy mode directly matches your prescription. Next, compare those bundle prices versus the bare bones ones. Check the warranty terms. And when it comes to financing, because a lot of retailers are going to offer payment plans or promotional medical credit cards, pay special attention to the total amount you'll repay over time. Factor in any APR or fees. Don't just fall for that tempting low monthly fee they plaster on the ad. Navigating these opaque costs, hidden supply fees, and confusing insurance pipelines is undeniably frustrating. I get it. But a CPAP isn't a luxury. It is a completely non-negotiable tool for you to breathe and thrive. So now that you know how to spot a bundle, dodge the hidden fees, and leverage your insurance, the question is, how will you use these strategies today to finally invest smartly in your own life? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and here's to a better, much healthier night's sleep.